from where the
Yes, here on this Saturday, August 6th. I'm Gary Liberatore in for Katrina this morning. And with so many events taking place around the Mohawk Valley today, the big question, what will the weather be like? Meteorologist Eric Gage joins us now. And Eric, another nice warm day out there so far, right?
Yes, so far very warm, already in the 70s with dew points still in the 70s as well. So a very warm and humid start to our day with patchy fog, but overall a beautiful sunrise across the Mohawk Valley. Now warming up pretty quickly into the 80s today. So if you're spending time outside, make sure you stay hydrated. There actually is a heat advisory in effect for some parts of our area, specifically the southern part of Herkimer County. And although it's not included, the southern part of Oneida County, temperatures will feel like the lower 90s today. So it's still some beautiful conditions to spend time outside. Isolated storms are possible, however. Here's a live look at Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are dry across the area this morning with once again patchy fog. It is already 77 degrees in the Mohawk Valley and at around 9 a.m. this morning, so a very warm start. This is because dew points are already in the 70s, so it is feeling very tropical outside right now. Weather headlines, hot and humid today. Isolated storms are possible as well. They look to remain brief, and isolated means they're only going to affect a small part of our area today. And the heat humidity do continue tomorrow as well. So for today, high of 89 degrees, hazy, hot and humid, but still most of us will experience a beautiful day today. And look at that full forecast coming up. Back over to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Still no word this morning.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. A hot day is in store for us today with temperatures reaching the upper 80s, and the temperatures will feel like the low 90s with dew points in the 70s. So a very tropical day around our area today. Here's a live look at our Cavity Tower camera overlooking the Mohawk Valley. I see some light haze across the area, some patchy fog in the early morning as well, but most of us will remain dry today with a few isolated storms moving throughout our area later on this evening. Live look at Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are dry across the area this morning. As I said before, patchy fog in the early morning hours is looking to dissipate over the next couple of hours. Still dry conditions, some high level clouds in some parts of our area, but definitely a noticeable haze and humidity with, once again, dew points very high in the 70s. Now, around the clock today, we do warm up into the 80s. However, because of that humidity, take a look at what the temperature will feel like. It will feel like the mid to lower 90s. So a very warm day ahead of us today. If you're spending time outside, make sure you find a way to stay hydrated, especially spending lots of time outside. There's a lot of events going on today, but otherwise, mostly dry. There are a few isolated storms to keep an eye out for, but otherwise, these storms look to remain mostly on the non-severe side and look to remain very slow moving. So we're not expecting any washout for today as well as tomorrow. The bigger picture, we have a high pressure system out towards the northern part of our area. What this is doing, this is a blocking high pressure. It is blocking a lot of this front moving in from the west. As you can see, the winds are basically being guided up from the south, pushing this front, and normally fronts move down like this. However, because of this blocking high pressure, it's moving out towards the west. As you can see, it's making more of a horizontal shape. Now today we're tracking some sunny skies, passing clouds, but otherwise a few isolated storms later on this evening. However, once again, those remaining mostly isolated. So because of that, most of us will remain dry. Now on our Skycast over the next couple of hours, warming up into the 80s, a hot day ahead of us today. Isolated storms possible moving through our area with a few on the more heavier rainfall side. However, because these storms are moving very slowly, those rain showers look to remain more on the more isolated side. Sunday, warm again, highs in the 80s with passing showers as well on the pop-up side with a few passing clouds. Otherwise, a very dry day again tomorrow. Now Monday, warming up again into the 70s and 80s to start out in the morning hours. A warm day ahead of us on Monday, and then looking ahead towards later on in the evening, finally seeing some more scattered showers due to a cold front arriving from the west. This will be slow moving, so we expect these rain showers to continue overnight into Tuesday. Finally seeing some much needed rainfall. A lot of our area is still very dry. Today, a high of 89 degrees, hazy, hot, and humid. Tonight, a low of 70 with a passing patchy fog as well. A few passing clouds as well. High of 88 tomorrow. Isolated storms, hot and humid conditions do continue. Our 7-day forecast. We see warm and humid conditions over the next several days. Today as well as Sunday and Monday. Highs in the upper 80s. Tracking isolated storms both Saturday, Sunday, as well as Monday on the more widespread side for Monday and Tuesday as a cold front moves through our area. Highs only in the upper 70s as a break in humidity finally reaches our area on Wednesday. And our weekend trivia question: how many counties in our area are named after a Revolutionary War general? Those are your counties that are included: 0, 1, 2, or 3.
I'll go with 3.
3, and we actually are close. It is 2. So obviously, you tease a Fort Stanwix. That's actually one of the generals as well. So I didn't notice there were actually 2 generals. So first was Montgomery County, named after Richard Montgomery, a general who died in 1775 after the Battle of Quebec. And the Herkimer, named after Nicholas Herkimer, the Revolutionary War general who died in 1777 in the Battle of Risking, leading his men to help defend the siege of Fort Stanwix. So,
beautiful.
So two generals named after some parts of our area.
I think a lot of people will remember that now.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. There are some tensions between China.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. A beautiful Saturday morning across the Mohawk Valley. Patchy fog in some parts of the area. We are quickly warming up into the 80s and it will feel like the 90s in some parts of the area due to high humidity. Here's a live look at our Caveat Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. We're seeing some haze across some parts of our area, but still a beautiful sunrise, increasing cloud cover throughout the day. More on the more fair weather cumulus cloud side. Not expecting a lot of overcast skies, however, still a very warm day ahead of us today. Now, a live look at a Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are dry across the area this morning. We're going to be tracking a few isolated storms moving throughout our area later on this evening. However, most of us will remain dry. Now, with these storms, they are going to be moving very slow. There's not a front initiating these storms. So because of that, these storms, as they move slow, could be producing some locally heavier rainfall, some isolated areas of ponding on roadways possible. But still, once again, most of us will remain dry. These storms are going to be very small and isolated. Temps this morning, 75 degrees already in Mohawk, 74 in New Hartford, 67 earlier on this morning in Westdale. Across the valleys, temperatures in the 70s already, still to 71 in Hartwick and 70 degrees in Edmondson. A very warm start to this Saturday morning. Now, around the clock today, we do warm up into the 80s and it will feel like the 90s because the humidity dew points in the 70s, a very tropical feel in the air this morning. Now, other than that, weather grades across the area, we are tracking very dry conditions, sunshine with passing clouds. There are still a few isolated storms to be moving throughout the area today. Make sure you're weather aware. However, a lot of these storms are going to be the usual garden variety storms, not expecting anything severe with a lot of these storms so far today. The bigger picture, a blocking high pressure is stopping this cold front way out to the west from speeding through our area. This will be causing our next couple of days to remain very hot and humid. Now for today, sunshine, as I said before, a few isolated storms, but most of us should be expecting a very warm, very humid, but mostly dry day today. On our Skycast today, warming up into the 80s with a few isolated storms moving throughout our area, mainly in the pop-up side. Now tonight we cool down into the 60s and 70s, a very warm night. Patchy fog possible with that high humidity, warming up tomorrow into the 80s again with passing showers as well, pop-up showers and storms warming up in the upper 80s, cooling down again on Monday into the lower 70s to upper 60s, a very warm and humid stretch of weather ahead of us. And we're tracking our next chance seeing some scattered showers arriving later on Monday with a cold front arriving from the west. Now this is ahead of the cold front, so some of these storms could be developing earlier on, but most of these storms look to be on the weaker side. However, any new developments we will see, we will make sure to pass along any new information along with these showers. Today, high of 89 degrees, hazy, hot and humid. Tonight, low 70 with patchy fog possible in some parts of our area. Tomorrow, high of 88 again. Isolated storms, it'll be hot and humid as well. Our 7-day forecast, the weekend ahead looks very warm and very humid. Isolated storms here and there, but most of us will remain dry. More thunderstorms possible on Monday, high of 86. And on Tuesday, we're finally seeing a little bit of a break in the humidity as a cold front finally moves through, bringing those temperatures down into the 70s. Now, our weekend trivia question, which animal's fingerprints resemble a human so much that they are almost indistinguishable? And a hint for you here, there is more than one answer.
Oh, wow. I'll go with B and C.
B and C, and there's actually one more too. This is actually pretty interesting when I researched it. Koalas. So koalas actually have fingerprints that you put them side by side. They're almost indistinguishable from humans. And it's a bear, so apparently 100,000 years of lineage back, and the fingerprints are almost alike. So
Yeah, they're still the same.
because it makes sense, chimpanzees and gorillas, but no idea about koalas.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Coming up, the password is...
Prep the forecast tonight. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Evening, a very warm and humid day across central New York with a few isolated showers and storms moving throughout our area this evening. Here's a look at temperatures. Actually, the heat index for parts of our area is what the temperature does feel like. Adding in the humidity to our temperatures, Camden 97 degrees. Herkimer 96 degrees, Westmoreland 95, and Griffiths Park in Rome with 94 degrees. We are under heat advisory for some parts of the Mohawk Valley for both today as well as tomorrow. So make sure you are staying hydrated and you're staying cool in this hot conditions across the next couple of days. Now, live look at Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Adopt the radar. We are tracking a few isolated storms moving throughout our area this evening. Tracking one right now moving right through the Utica-Rome region, one actually moving directly over Rome. This is producing some heavier downpours as well as a downpour moving just over Cooperstown and Otsego County right now. Now let's look at our Cavvy Tower camera. You can see the in-between two significant downpours, one right here, then a space in the downpour, and then another downpour out towards the right. So you can see just how isolated these showers and storms are this evening. Our current temperature, 81 degrees in the Utica-Rome region. It actually felt like 94 earlier on today, but dew points are still in the 70s, so still feeling very humid. And looking ahead towards the next several hours, we're tracking more dry conditions with a few isolated showers and storms moving throughout our area. Have your full forecast, including what to expect for temperatures over the next couple of days coming up. Back over to you, Syra.
Thank you, Eric. Across the U.S. today.
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good evening and welcome back. A very warm and very humid day across central New York with temperatures warming up into the upper 80s and temperatures feeling like the low to mid 90s. However, we are tracking a few isolated, much needed showers across some parts of our area. Here's a live look at our Cavvy Tower camera. And as you can see, there's a few raindrops on the camera itself. There are a few isolated downpours moving through in between the Utica-Rome region right now. Now look across the state. On the New York State Mesonet, besides these showers moving through Cooperstown as well as the Utica-Rome region, some areas are remaining completely dry. Take a look at Oppenheim, blue skies, storm clouds moving through Morrisville, but still some of our area to most of our area are still seeing dry conditions. Now, live look out of Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, Doppler radar. We are tracking a couple isolated showers and storms, mainly one, as you can see right here, moving directly through the Utica-Rome region right now. Dry conditions in between, and then another shower moving through Cooperstown, but still, once again, most of us remaining dry this evening. These showers are not expected to last long, but still some brief downpours, some much needed downpours in a relatively dry season so far. Temperatures this evening in the 80s, 86 in Mohawk, 88 in Barneveld, 83 in West Leiden, 87 in New Hartford, with 84 degrees in Clinton. A very warm day, along with dew points in the 70s, making it feel much more warmer. 91 in Richfield Springs, 89 in Paynes Hollow, 82 in Cassville, 82 as well in Otego, with 88 in Whitesboro, and 78 degrees in Otego. Looking at radar and satellite, the bigger picture right now, we are tracking a few isolated showers and storms. A lot of this heat humidity is caused by a high pressure system out towards the Atlantic Ocean, and there was a weaker high pressure system out towards the north that has weakened over the past couple of hours. This is dragging in some hot and humid conditions over the next couple of days, making our weekend very warm and humid. Now, our cold front bringing some relief to the humidity is still out to the west, and because of that high pressure system, it is keeping those temperatures, those dry conditions, way on the further out towards the west. Now we're seeing a weaker low pressure system develop from the west right now, so Monday and Tuesday we're tracking on the higher chance of seeing some more scattered to much more needed widespread showers from a cold front arriving as a low pressure system moves directly over our area. Keep in mind this does happen between Monday and Tuesday, so for the next several days we're going to remain mostly dry with, as I said before, a few isolated showers and storms. Today, after a very warm highs in the 80s and even possibly reaching the 90s in some parts of our area, do cool down into the 60s and 70s overnight, warming back up again into the 80s. Patchy fog possible overnight as well, warming up into the 80s and 90s again tomorrow. Cooling down only into the 70s overnight again, very hot and humid over the next several days. Patchy fog once again, and our next chance seeing some more scattered to widespread showers looks to be Monday evening heading into Tuesday as a cold front moves through our area. Today, we're highs in the 80s, hazy, hot, and humid. Tonight, cooling down into the 70s with patchy fog possible and isolated storms still possible as well. Tomorrow, high of 88, isolated storms, hot and humid continues. Our 7-day forecast looking ahead for the next several days. After Sunday and Monday, we're finally looking back down into the 70s over the next several days. Some chance of showers on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday before we dry out on Friday, with additional chances of some showers possible on Saturday. As you see ahead, highs only in the upper 70s to low 80s. Zaira?
Thank you, Eric. As the crisis in